This is Ben Shalom, and you're watching Sporting Icons.
Okay, so there's an article here, and I'll put it in the description box for you, where Ben Shalom, the CEO for Boxer, and of course lead promoter for Sky Sports, he said that Hughie Fury's next fight could well be against a Robert Helenius, the WBA gold champion, or Michael Hunter. Now, Peter Fury, he said about a week or two ago that a fight that many will see as a 50-50 fight will be announced soon for Hughie Fury. Now, with what Ben Shalom is saying there, firstly, Robert Helenius, he's the WBA gold champion, but he's ranked number 3 in the WBA. Hughie Fury is ranked number 4. Michael Hunter is ranked number 2. But the WBA have ordered Hughie Fury versus Robert Helenius for a final eliminator. Okay, so that said, now I did speak to Ben Shalom a few weeks really before he mentioned about this particular fight. Actually, I'll show you what it is that he said about this particular fight with Robert Helenius. And with the WBA, they've ordered Hughie Fury against Robert Helenius. Is that something that makes you go, come on? I like it, by the way.
I like it. I mean, Hughie's got so many options. I mean, I've said Otto Wallin, Helenius, Trevor Bryan. I know they've ordered that, but when that happens, I don't know. Chisora, I think that's a great fight. So Hughie's 27 now, and he's learned a lot. He's been in there with the very best, and I think people underestimate perhaps where he's at in his career now. He's got power now, which I don't think he quite had before, and so yeah, there's some exciting fights there in the heavyweight division. After the announcement last week, is getting moving again. It was almost a standstill for the whole division, and so yeah, that's a great fight, and yeah, Hughie's got a big year ahead. We're going to have 2-3 big fights for him lined up.
Okay, so there you have it with the Robert Helenius versus Hughie Fury fight. Now, what I didn't take into account really at that point was that Robert Helenius, of course, is a PBC fighter. His last couple of fights, last 3 or 4 fights actually, have been on the PBC. We all know it's quite difficult to prize PBC fighters away from their platforms. Is it because they're comfortable being over there? Is it because they're promised the world and whatever else and they don't want to leave there? Or maybe Al Heyman has some kind of control over them, control over their career. So it was always going to be difficult to make that fight. It's probably a little bit easier that it's Ben Shalom rather than Eddie Hearn. We all know Eddie Hearn and PBC don't really see eye to eye on things. But that would lead me to really suspect that Hughie Fury versus Michael Hunter could well be the fight. Now, that's a fight that I think a lot of people could fully get behind. And to be honest with you, it's kind of like one of those fights. It will be a make or break for both fighters. So if what Peter Fury is saying is true, which is it's a 50-50 fight, then I would have to agree with that from one perspective. Now, I personally would make Hughie Fury a favourite in that one. I thought Michael Hunter, last time out, when he fought, I think it was a Jerry Forrest, he was lucky to get a draw out of that fight. He really was. Now, bear in mind, he's already beaten that guy once before, but last time out he got a draw. But that said, is Michael Hunter, is he still contracted promotionally to Triller? I don't know. So if he's not, if he can be prized away from Triller, or maybe they could put it on in America, we don't know. That fight would make a little bit more sense. Now, they do have a common opponent, if you like. Hughie Fury took on Alexander Povetkin. He lost on points to that one. Personally, I thought that he beat Povetkin. I'm in the minority on that one, I know. But there again, I thought that Josie Parker beat Hughie. So again, I'm in the minority on that one. So quite clearly, what do I know about scoring fights? But Michael Hunter, he got a draw with Alexander Povetkin. So they do have that opponent in common. So it does make a very interesting fight. And it's the right kind of fight when you look at the rankings. When you look at, say, the WBA, they're both ranked very, very high in the WBA. So number 2 versus number 4, why not? This is what I've been going on about for months and months and months, about all the fighters ranked in the top 15 of the WBA, WBC, IBF and WBO fight each other. And unfortunately, for the most part, they don't. But at least if we do get Hughie Fury versus Michael Hunter, that's something that we can look at and go, good. At least they're actually fighting to prove why they are ranked there. Now, I know a lot of people are not so high on Hughie. I personally am. I rate Hughie Fury a lot, and I was there ringside watching his last fight against Christian Hammer. And he was about to legitimately stop Christian Hammer, which not something that people really do. But he was on the road to stopping Christian Hammer before Christian Hammer pulled out with some kind of injury. I think he said he pulled his shoulder or something happened. But I think, honestly, that was his way of recognising that he's about to get knocked out. Hughie Fury is much better than I think people give him credit for. But again, I can say that, Peter can say that, anybody else can say that. But Hughie has to show it. And I think over his last couple of fights, he has been shown it against Christian Hammer, against Marius Wack, that not only can he take a bit of a dig, as he was showing with Povetkin, that he does have a very good chin. He's got a better chin than Tyson. That's for sure. But he has the ability to box and punch very hard. Now, I know that he punches very, very hard. Okay, I know people who's been sparring and that with him over like the last several months, and he punches very, very hard. Now he's getting his man strength and all that kind of thing. So him taking on Michael Hunter, it's a risky move. It is a risky move because it wouldn't be a high reward kind of fight. Financially, it wouldn't be life-changing money for Hughie. But if he beats Michael Hunter, he's ranked up there. He's ranked right the way up there. He could well be made mandatory for either the Joshua Usyk winner or Daniel Dubois and Trevor Bryan. So he's going to be right there in the mix. And I fully expect him by the end of the year to be there and mandatory for one of those two fights. I really do. And a fight against Michael Hunter would certainly be one that I would definitely be interested in. I really would. Michael Hunter, of course, he's a very good boxer. He has a very good amateur background. I love his ring entrance, by the way, with the old Predator thing. I think that's pretty cool. But he's one of those kind of fighters where he's a banana skin for anybody. You could put him in there against any fighter in the world and you couldn't write off Michael Hunter. You just couldn't. Hughie Fury, of course, is a traditional boxer. Hit and don't get hit. Some people call it boring. I call it boxing. It's boxing. Tyson Fury was doing this for the longest time. Okay, this is the Peter Fury method of hit, don't get hit. But of course, at times, you have to throw that right hand. At times, Hughie has been guilty of not throwing the right hand enough, in my personal opinion. So against Michael Hunter, he's going to have to throw that right hand. He's going to have to get the respect of Michael Hunter so Hunter doesn't try and maul him. Because if Michael Hunter senses any kind of blood, any kind of weakness, he will jump on you. So Hughie does need to be throwing that right hand. He can't be apprehensive with it. He really can't. Now, where will this fight take place? If, of course, it happens, I would imagine probably in Manchester, the Manchester Arena, something like that. So, personally, if it happens, I'd love to be able to go there and watch it. I personally would. Anyway, that's my thoughts. You drop me yours, click thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video.